In this series, I'm going to show you how to complete Dark Souls 3 without dying. You can also use this as a very safe and secure way to get through the game. By following this walkthrough, you'll be able to complete this game without too much stress or too much hassle. My name is Azzavhar or Azza. Now let's get into the video game training. Okay, so on this next bit, we're going to be upgrading our swords quite a lot, which will help with this run. Very much so. So from the Walner boss fight that we just did, we're going to head on back towards this bridge and descend down these ladders. You can hold down B to do a slide down the ladders there. Head on round. We're going to be doing this bit quite fast. Make sure that you got Homeward Bones equipped in your quick items. You'll see why in just a moment. So run through, you can go right underneath that guy's legs, pick up this item here, large Titanite shard, run straight down. You can kind of angle the camera here a little bit, and sometimes what it does is cut the skeletons off from behind you, but it's not done, that's fine. This is a good example. So if those skeletons do chase you, that's fine. You want to activate the bonfire and then run around the corner, press the Homeward Bone, and bonfire last rested. It will usually give you enough time to activate the bonfire as you run around the corner, but sometimes you can't rest because the skeletons have chased you around here. If the skeletons have chased you, that's fine. You can either fight and kill them, or you can just continue to run around here and then pop the Homeward Bone as you kind of get around the corner here, and it's usually safe to take you back to the bonfire and it will reset the skeleton positions as well. So on this bit, again, we're going to go through this Smouldering Lake and pick up some upgrade materials. We have to listen out for some javelins being shot from up above, and they always shoot in threes as well. You might be able to hear them now. So we need to listen. I might be quiet here while we listen for this. Pick up this large Titanite shard. There they come. So usually about 3 seconds before each one hits the ground. This large Titanite shard here as well. So we picked up 2 so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Usually about 3.5, I think, for each javelin hit. And pick up this other item here, large Titanite shard. So now I picked up 3. Wait for those to hit that column there, and then head on over here. You can usually make it through quite safe. I don't need to kill this first one. This first crystal lizard. You can pick up that twinkling titanite for extra 500 souls if you want to. On this bit, it's usually best to chase this lizard if you go towards your right and then push him kind of towards the left wall here a little bit. It's important that you kill this one because that's the titanite chunk that we are using to upgrade our weapons. And then some more upgrade materials in this area here. Large Titanite shard here. Large Titanite shard here. You don't need this, but you can pick it up to sell. Yellow bug pellets. You can sell it if you want to. And then backtrack down this little cave section here that we came in from. Back towards where the javelins were. And once again, this bit is a little bit spicy, so you just have to listen out for the javelins and roll accordingly. And you can see an item shining in the distance. We need to get the item over there, that's quite important. I believe that's a large Titanite shard. We're going to try and get this, so on the third, after the third javelin, I pick up the shard. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And try and place that third one so you can pick up the shard and then backtrack a little bit behind this. Backtrack behind this column just here. Don't go too far because you don't want to get into that worm territory just yet because it will wreck you. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is take off our clothes. Not because we're feeling a little bit extra spicy, but it can help here with stamina regen a little bit. We need to run quite fast to the right of that worm in just a second. So what we need to do is listen out for the javelins, and when the third javelin hits, if the worm is kind of putting his head upwards, then we run. We'll only do that on the third one. So the head is going up. Javelin 1, Javelin 2, Javelin 3. That worked out quite well. So that javelin hit on the third one and the head went up. Sometimes get hit with a javelin from behind, that's fine. Just roll it off and keep on running towards the right there. That worm will start to spin round. Basically what happens here is you want to make it past. You want to make it past that worm before he starts doing that spin to win. We just did it there. So you can do it by taking one javelin. If you do get hit by one javelin, it's absolutely fine. Just shake it off, roll and keep running. Make your way around, grab this bonfire. Just a note, we just picked up an extra upgrade item just at the top of that cliff there. So make sure to pick that one up as well, which I believe was a large titanite shard. You'll see it just on the edge of that ledge there. There is an item just in front of the worm as well, like directly in front of him. Don't worry too much about those. Don't need those. So head round, press the bonfire. That's the upgrade materials for now. So we're going to go and actually use those back to Firelink Shrine. Back at Firelink Shrine, let's go and sell anything that we may not need. So these yellow bug pellets, like I mentioned earlier, you can sell those. We've also got Walner's Soul, which we can also sell. The Twinkling Titanite we can sell. The S-Stock we can get rid of at this point, don't need it. And let's go and use our materials that we just picked up. So at this point, we've got 2 titanite chunks with us and also 10 large titanite shards. So keep in mind that we got some extra items from just above the Firelink Shrine as well by placing the firebomb and the black firebomb up with those birds. So reinforce. Currently our swords are +4. So we're going to push them to +5 and then use 6 shards here. Push them to +6. And we've also got 2 titanite chunks, which we've picked up. So push them once more. And now we've got +7. So the next upgrade that we need for +8 will be 4 titanite chunks required. Okay, so at this point you want to be having the +7 sellsword twin blades. Next we have a boss coming up, which is the Crystal Sage. So let's make sure that we got the things that we need for this fight. You want to have at least a few blossoms, maybe 2 or 3 fire resins, and 4 pine bundles is fine for this fight as well. If you need to, stock up on some Homewood Bones if you're looking a little bit low. And at this point you can sell the titanite shards because we've already upgraded the weapons to the chunk point, so the shards we just sell for extra souls. It's also worth mentioning here, I just want to point out that we should have at least 1 black firebomb as well, which we will be using a little bit up ahead. We've also got 35,000 souls here, so we can level up for the upcoming boss fight. Probably about 30 dexterity is quite decent there. You can also start to put some stuff in HP and endurance as well for a little bit of safety strats there. Depending on how safe you want to be, you could go for more HP or more dexterity, which is essentially the amount of damage that you do. So I'm going to go for a bit more extra dex there, I think. we go. So you can put your armor back on at this point. We just took that off to get past that worm. And this next bit, we're going to prepare for it by having the right things equipped on the quick items and such. So I actually like to have Grass Crest Shield, then the Sorcerer's Staff, then the shield here as well. You'll see why in just a moment. And then have the Fire Resin and the Pine Bundle as well. So for this next fight, Pine Bundle is quite vital. So burn any undead bone shards that you might have. Travel back. At this point, we're going to backtrack a little bit to the bonfire, which is called Crucifixion Woods. So let's go there. Okay, so Road of Sacrifices. And then we're going to head in that direction over there. The reason that I've got the shield, the target shield here and the Grass Crest shield here, is because on this boss fight we're going to do a parry, and then we need to get rid of that and go straight into the Grass Crest. You'll see in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Spook. It just makes sneaking past these enemies a little bit smoother. Not 100% required, but you might as well. Watch out for the mage there. And roll that. You'll have a bunch of enemies chasing you. Don't worry, just keep running. Go left through that little doorway. Follow this stairway up, and then hug this wall to the right. Ideally, if you hug this wall to the right, it will not aggro any enemies down below. Plunge and attack this guy. Run past him. Just run straight up towards the sage here. Have the parry shield ready. A lot of his attacks will miss in this general area over here. And have the pine ready, because you need to do this. Pine, and then get that. And then I've switched to the... After we got that parry, then got the critical strike. So how that works is wait for the sword attack from the Crystal Sage. You want to parry that sword attack, then pop the Pine Bundle onto your sword, then do the critical strike. After that critical strike, you want to get rid of the parry shield over to the Grass Crest, then press Y. So you've got one sword in each hand, and then just attack 3 times or so. I think it's 2 or 3 times, like that, and that will finish off the Crystal Sage. Grab this bonfire, rest if you need to. And in the next episode, we're going to be heading towards the cathedral, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh my good god. What? You can't poke me through a wall?